So we're still experimenting, and what I've decided to do is reduce the opening that leads into the vortex chamber. So it's now only 2.5 inches. It was working perfectly fine before, but we'll see if this makes any difference. The other thing I've done is I've built a lid, or at least I put a glass lid on my existing sort of cement board plate that I had around there. I've just used these bathroom shower hinges, and underneath I've put a few bits of cement board so it's easily removable and just drops into place. So I've still got very easy maintenance. I've just made a new grid. The other one lasted, I don't know what it was, but it's finally given up the ghost. So I've just cut a couple of slots in the brick, and so it drops in. That's in the wrong way round actually, we just put it in the right way. So that drops in neatly now and holds itself there. And the lid just drops into place. It's just held there by gravity, but at least it's easy to take on and off. And I think it smartens it all up. But more importantly, it gives me more control over the air, so I can now open and close the lid at will. So I go ahead and light the fire. I'm using these little tight bundles of wood shavings you can buy quite cheaply, trying to keep it as organic as possible. I'm using oak today. This is all oak. It's just offcuts from my workshop. I've cut some into little kindling and some larger blocks. I find the oak burns a lot slower than hardwood, but doesn't softwood, but doesn't produce as much heat. So we just chucked a couple of these little straw things in and see if we can get it going with the gas gun. I put some little bits of kindling. It's very windy outside today. We're on the tail end of a storm, but we've got instant draw. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just load it up with some more wood around that, and we'll take it from there. So we'll load the box up with as much oak as we can fit in it. I've got some horizontal, some vertical, just stick them all in. I find the blocks of wood from my workshop work perfectly fine. The oak burns quite a lot slower than the softwood and produces less heat but lasts longer. So we just drop our box in and we'll start the fire with the lid open. It seems to be the best way. Get plenty of air in it to get it started up. But you can see within literally, well, you can see there, I mean, it's within minutes we've got a flame going. I say it's quite testing conditions outside with a lot of wind, but nevertheless it's caught fine. So, you know, we're only at 10 to 10 and we'll see how it goes. I mean, it is a little bit chilly. We've got about 58 degrees Fahrenheit, but the fire, it just pours out heat. The actual heat that radiates out of this, in fact, I must move my flame gun straight away. Anyhow, so here we go, it's running. You can see I've got a little screw under here on my front glass, which allows a little bit of air in. I've blocked the bottom air which runs to the vortex. That's completely closed off at the moment. We need to get some temperature into it, get it running nice and hot to start with. But as you can see, I mean, it just takes minutes to start getting there. I mean, we can see red hot temperatures now. The riser's glowing red hot. The Mickey light at the bottom is very hot. But outside, we're at the tail end of a huge storm which ripped through the island. We've lost about 400 trees. I've lost a few fence panels and a lot of leaves off my plants. So look, you know, I mean, only after what we got, you know, 5 minutes and the temperature's gone up 4 or 5 degrees. I just can't express how much heat this thing pours out. But to be honest with you, I'll be quite happy if I can calm it down a little bit, because the last few fires we've been lighting are just too hot. But you can see here we are, we're running this in Fahrenheit, but we've got instant temperatures. It'll soon be time to sort of close down the air, but I want to get the fire well established, get all the oak on fire and burning rapidly, and then we can start closing down the air, and we'll see what happens. I'm just running back up in centigrade now. I mean, what we've got here over the top of the glass, we've got 298, 294, so virtually 300 degrees centigrade within a few minutes of lighting it. Okay, so the fire's been running for exactly 10 minutes, or roughly 10 minutes. Most of the wood is well on fire now. We've got really warm temperatures. We've got over 300 degrees centigrade on above the riser. So let's close it down. Let's close the top and pull out the main air plug, and we'll see what happens. I mean, looking down the riser, I can just about hold my phone over the top for a minute, but it won't be for much longer because the heats are really building now. You can see it's more comfortable to shine it up at the mirror, and you can see the vortex is running really well. Even with the testing conditions and the pulsing we're getting from the wind, it seems to be totally under control. We'll see how it develops in the next few minutes once the air starts running through, it's traveling through it and warming up as it goes through, because the warmer the fire gets, the warmer the air becomes. It becomes preheated before it reaches the vortex, and we'll see what difference that makes, if any. Now you can see how pretty the vortex is running now. I mean, considering it's only been burning for, I don't know, 12 or 14 minutes. It's well established, it's running absolutely beautifully. The air's closed down and the wind is pulsing, but the flames are staying right at the bottom of the vortex chamber. Couldn't ask for much more, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty much running on song. Now we've got around about 700 degrees Fahrenheit in the center of the glass, and it still hasn't been running much more than about 15 minutes. We're up to what, 70 degrees, so a good increase. Yeah, so I mean, look, you know, it's been running in total for about 22 minutes from lighting it. Now I've just put a little bit of rope around the bottom to completely seal the air, see if that makes any difference. And yeah, I mean, it's even tighter now. It seems the flame is running very, very uniform and very close to the bottom. I really think it's, you know, running about as good as I can expect it to run. Now earlier on I showed how I left a small air gap underneath the front glass. I'm not really sure how it's behaving, if the air is running up in front of the glass, running across the bottom, but there's absolutely zero ash in the bottom at the moment. I mean, I'd have to run it for a longer period to see if we get any ash build up. So here we are. Look, the fire's been running for 40 minutes. We've still got plenty of wood left. I say with the air throttled right down, it lasts for quite a long time. I'd say there's at least another 15-20 minutes left of burning in there. Oh, by the way, I also found that metal lid we just saw then. I found it in a tip. I think it's part of the metal halide lights, but we'll see if we can put a hinge on it and turn it into an oven. Bye for now.